if we don't have a solid moral, spiritual code or a set of principles that guides us to what we do, we can't teach our children what we don't have.
Right.
We can't give them what we don't have, and we're certainly not going to stress the importance of something that is not important to us.
Yeah.
And so we, as a group of black women for many decades now, have continued to sink lower and lower into this pit where we don't really care about right and wrong. We care about what makes me feel good or what makes me look good in front of people or what I think they perceive or how I think I'm supposed to live. We get caught up with things like reality TV shows. We get caught up in the fantasies of things because there are not men. We've ran off the men in our community to a large extent because men have a tendency to ground women. Because we're women, because we are emotionally driven, we have a tendency to go into the imagination, into the emotion, into the chaos of things, which is what we're supposed to do, because that serves as the counterbalance to the stability, to the logic, to the reason, to the order of men.
Yeah.
What men typically do, or the job of men traditionally, even in a spiritual sense, is to take the woman and anchor her in reality. Can't float off, baby. I know you got that in you, but I'm the one that has to go out into the world and see it for what it is. If I shield you, if I cover you, you don't necessarily see all the horrors of it. I don't need you to see the horrors of it. What I need you to do is follow my covering and raise our children with that covering. Black women as a group in general, our foremothers removed the covering of our men in general. And we've been suffering ever since because our culture wasn't trash when the men were in charge of it. And when I say that, sometimes women get upset. Well, the men weren't perfect. It's not about perfection. No, they were not perfect. No, they did not do everything perfectly. However, there was more order, there was more dignity, and there was a better spiritual base that we were working from as a group. And the women understood that, and they followed that more or less. And because we don't do that anymore, because I'm independent and I don't need no man and all that other foolishness that we get into, and I can raise my and single motherhood, and this is the best thing ever. No, it's not. We've damaged almost to a point of being irreparable. Who we are. We're at the brink of extinction, and I don't think a lot of black women know that and or realize it, which is why my channel is geared towards black women, black women, black women. The women that it don't apply to, it don't apply to them.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to everybody.
Right.
But I am talking to the ones I'm talking to.
Yep.
So
You have a lot of men that love you though, because I mean, it's not like you can force only a specific group of people, but a lot of men attract to your content. Why do you think that is? Do you think that is just that it resonates with them as far as the plight or the seriousness of what's going on within the community, or what? Because, and let me tell you why I asked you that question, because I talk to a lot of guys, right? And I have a whole lot of guy subscribers. And the sentiment that I get, whether it be in a coaching session or when I read my emails, is that guys want to be in a relationship and they want to be married, right? They do want a woman in their life. They do want kids. They do want a family and all of these other type of things. But it seems as though it's harder than ever, or either it's harder than ever for a specific type of guy to be able to vet through and find a woman that they deem worthy of being able to, marry, or they're deathly afraid of what the possibilities can be on the other side if they choose the wrong person. Why do you think that men, in a general sense, attract themselves to your content as much as they do? Because you have a huge following of guys.
I think it's a mixed bag. I think that they are attracted to the content because they want to hear a black woman say it. This is something that they've been saying. Their father's been saying it. Their brother's been saying it. Nobody listens. Nobody cares. And they want to hear it come out of. They want to hear empathy come out of the mouth of a black woman towards them. A woman somewhere, and I think for a lot of men, I represent that. I represent the mindset. I represent, what if they mothers thought like this?
Yeah.
What if they sisters thought like this? What if they wives or girlfriends thought like this? What if black women in general could have empathy for black men in general, and true empathy, not sympathy? I don't feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
I understand you. I understand what you face in this world. I may not know what you face, but I understand that it's challenging for you. And since I understand it's challenging for you, I'm going to support you, and I'm going to verbalize my understanding of that. And I think because I say it, the black men are like, God, could she tell that to my, I get it so many times. Can she tell that to my wife?
Yeah.
Or can she tell that to my sisters? Or can she tell that to my, or whatever? It's not me they're attracted to necessarily, although some of them might be. But it's this. It's what's coming out of me. It resonates for them because they want, like you said, they want relationships with black women.
Yeah.
They do. They love black women. But just because you love somebody, that doesn't mean you ignore the hurt that person is visiting upon you. You got to recognize that they're hurting you, and that person has to recognize that they're hurting you. And I think that's what it is. Black men are disappointed. They feel like black women should understand that the things that they engage in culturally hurt them, put black men at a disadvantage from boyhood. And they want women to understand that some of the things that we do that we think is okay is actually not okay, and it hurts them.
Yeah.
So
Do you've and it's funny because I didn't know that you were as immersed earlier on and the things. And let me give a shout out to Angry Man because I love Angry Man. I'm loving to see the growth. I'm glad that he's finally getting his just due as far as being recognized as one of the pillars and one of the people that's been communicating effectively what it is that I think that a lot of men really, really stand for, and what things need to be communicated as far as how it is that we need to change and evolve, and holding people accountable and doing a self accountability as far as like, looking in the mirror and saying, I need to evolve too, right?